What up, though? I'm Cedric Sutton. This is Balance of Power. You came here to learn, so let's get it in. Today's lesson, how does balance work? Hence the name of the show, Balance of Power. How does that relate to men and women in our relationships and how we do things? Well, you best to find out, so bang bang. In elementary school, there was a gifted student program called the GATE program. I think it stands for Gifted and Talented Education, something like that. Possibly. It's been a long time, so I don't remember. But one of the things I do remember, because it left an impression on me, was when you first get in, they ask you all these questions, and they're trying to see how your mind works. So they ask these questions, and you're supposed to respond quickly, trying to do it think as fast as possible. So the question goes, and this is the one I remember the most, was, what weighs more, a pound of lead or a pound of feathers? Now, some of you might have answered, well, duh, lead. But that would be incorrect. The correct answer is they weigh the same. A pound of lead or a pound of feathers. Yeah. So in all the things I learned in GATE, that was the thing that stuck with me the most, that question, because it was fascinating that our human minds are predisposed to just look at the surface, to look at what seems like it should be stronger versus listening to the whole question, to the whole thing, and understanding and realizing what's the actual truth of the matter. And it made me think about how things really work versus just that first initial gut reaction of how things seem like they work. In other words, perception versus reality. So again, I found this question so fascinating because it taught me the importance of how to think about things. And that's key. Because true intelligence is really measured on knowing how to think versus being told what to think. Remember that. That's something you're going to get here, Balance of Power, that you're not going to get very many other places, especially on these internet streets. So for classroom purposes, instead of saying a pound of lead versus a pound of feathers, we're going to use steel. Steel sounds good. Steel is better. You know, lead paint, lead causing cancer, stuff like that. We're going to do away with the lead and go with steel. Okay? Alright. Now again, they weighed the same. If they were on a scale, they will be balanced. They're not equal. Equal would mean they're the exact same substance, but they're not. They're balanced. And that is important going forward. Not equality. Don't seek equality. Don't seek to have the exact same thing. It's not going to work out. It doesn't work like that. That's not how life is. Especially in relationships. Seek balance. And we're going to be teaching that here. Now, because of that balance, each of these substances is highly powerful, highly useful. They both have worth. They have a balanced amount of worth. It just all depends on what you need them for. It's not going to feel very good sleeping on a steel bed. A bed made of steel, you're going to have back problems. Now, it also doesn't do you any good to get into a sword fight with a sword made out of feathers. You're probably going to lose that one. That's not the best tool for that job. If you have to break down a door to get to the roof of a building, you want something hard like steel. You want that, you need that in order to get the job done. But if you fall off that building, you're going to want something soft like some feathers to land on. They each have their uses. So men and women are balanced with hardness and softness. That is our balanced opposite. It's the thing that keeps us both in check. Just like the balance of power in American politics. If you're not from America, balance of power is technically a political term. It's what's used, in a sense, to make sure no one branch of government gets too much power over the other. Now, when it comes to relationships between men and women, you ain't better than a man because you're a woman. You're not better than a woman because you're a man. We are balanced. We both have our uses, we both have our skills, we both have things that we're predisposed to be better at. We both work best when we are together. Now, speaking about power and relationships and how each of us keep each other in check, let's talk about the essence of power in a relationship, shall we? Now, there's two main sources in a relationship. There's leadership and there's management slash persuasion. So men's side would be the leadership, women's side would be the management slash persuasion. So let's start with the ladies first, shall we? This movie, called The Day the Earth Stood Still, is basically about an alien who comes down to Earth. Now this alien is about the normal size of a man, just as fragile as a man, and he gets captured by the authorities and they start questioning him and doing things to him. But the alien didn't come to Earth alone. The alien came with a big ass robot, the size of like a skyscraper. This robot has the power to destroy buildings, tanks, anything. This robot basically has the power to destroy the world. Now, because the alien, the robot's master, so to speak, was being detained and possibly being hurt or tortured by the humans, the robot starts to go buck wild, starts stomping on stuff, slapping stuff around, pretty much doing the whole world destruction kind of a thing. And even the alien himself, when he comes outside to try to stop the robot starts to get a little bit defiant and just wants to just destroy stuff, right? But the alien has a phrase. Now this alien could be picked up and crushed and destroyed by this robot. This robot has the ability to like punch a hole to the center of the earth and boom, everything's gone. But because the alien just says 3 words, Klaatu Barada Nikto, shuts the robot completely down. Ladies, that's you. In relationships, you're the little alien, fragile enough to be crushed by the robot. Us as men, we're the robot. The power to crush, kill, and destroy anything in our path to go protect the thing that we care about. But even though we have this immense power, we can get managed and persuaded by you doing this. Nah, don't do that with your hands. I don't mean you doing that. Would just be weird if you walked up to your man and you went like that. I mean you talking. All you have to do is just say stuff. You can just persuade a dude to do so much by just whispering in our ear. You don't actually have to go to battle. You don't actually have to go to war. You don't actually have to take up arms and do things. Whisper in the ear of a dude who controls a bunch of people, because you can persuade him. You're like on Vampire Diaries, how they have that power of compulsion, how they just say something while looking at somebody and they're just compelled to do whatever. Ladies, that's you. That is what God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the power that they've given you to balance the equation so that you aren't overpowered by men. You don't have to do it with your physicality. You're not using a sword. You're using a pillow. You're not using steel. You're using a feather. It's just that easy. Now obviously there's loopholes and different things and ways that men can kind of resist and get out of it, but that's in general how the game go. You could just whisper in our ear and make us feel like we're on top of the world, or you can whisper in our ear and make us feel like we're the worst person in the world. You can just control a dude's feelings. That's your form of power that God just gave you instantaneously. Now gentlemen, for us, it's leadership. Now leadership in the sense that just biologically, most of us have a good sense of direction. Not everybody. Some of y'all, no. But generally, if I'm talking to a man, if I say north, south, east, or west, he's not looking at me like I'm crazy. He can understand the concept of that. Whereas, ladies, many of y'all, we say that, oh, it's on the north side of the street. You're like, you don't, it's not something that really registers. Now, even dudes who are not good at directions, part of the reason why they don't like to stop and ask for directions is because you biologically feel like, I should be good at this. What the hell? What's going on? There's this thing that happens with us. If you tell us where you want to go, like a GPS, we will generally have logic, reasons, answers to get you closer to whatever it is. The smarter the man you're with, the better he's going to be at that. But that's a portion of the leadership. So the main role of leadership, though, is that you're responsible for the safety, well-being, and livelihood of your team. One of the things I tell my team all the time, no matter if it's the team I have now running my company, or even back when I was like leading people when I worked at McDonald's, same kind of thing. I'm going through the fire first so that those of you behind me don't have to. I'm taking all that pain, all that whatever, getting shot in the face if I'm the first one through the door. I'm making sure that it's me to save everyone else behind me. I'm responsible for your safety. I'm responsible for your well-being, for your livelihood, for you to be able to do what it is you want to do in life, get to where you want to go. I'm that GPS that goes out and makes sure that I'm taking the fire so that you can be successful in the end. I also want to be successful for sure, but that's the role of the leader. A few examples of what I mean, the balance working in relationships. It's going to be fun. One is Superman and Batman. Now, if you watch the Justice League, especially if you watch the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, great cartoon by the way, and yes, a brother's a nerd. Superman and Batman in the Justice League. Batman manages damn near everything in the Justice League. He's given out assignments, he's telling people where to go, he's drawing up battle plans, he's doing all kinds of management type things. He's essentially running the Justice League. But Batman is not the true leader of the Justice League. Now people see Batman and Superman as co-leaders, but at the same time, everybody knows what it is. The person who's the ultimate leader of the Justice League, the one who has the final say in whether they're going to go to war with Darkseid or they're going to do this as far as the planet and save things, is Superman. He makes that final decision. He consults Batman, he consults Wonder Woman, he consults his people. But when the smoke clears, the fact is, that's Superman's call. Why? He's responsible for saving everyone. Even these cats who save the world themselves, they still look at him to save them. Seriously. I don't know of anybody in the Justice League, any situation where they're not just like desperate for whatever and they're like, oh, Superman's here. They all feel good. They all feel like he's going to make it happen. He's responsible for the safety, well-being, and livelihood of the entire Justice League as well as the entire world. Even the world knows, yeah, Superman's the leader. It seems like Batman's running things, because he is. So Batman still has power. It's not a situation where Batman is just left out in the cold. It's not a situation where Batman's not putting in his 2 cents or Batman has no power. Batman has immense power in the Justice League. Weirdly, for someone who doesn't have superpowers of his own, he's running shit in situations where people could destroy the earth and he's telling them what to do. Another example, the Avengers. Between Captain America and Iron Man. Steve and Tony. Now, everybody all over the place, it seems like Captain America and Iron Man both lead, because technically they do. They're both running things, they both make decisions, but Iron Man does most of the managerial type things. He's the one coordinating and things. So there's this amazing clip I love to illustrate this in Avengers Age of Ultron, where they come back from their first mission. In that movie, Maria Hill comes on to the ship and she says,
Lab's all set up, boss.
Oh, actually, he's the boss. I just pay for everything and design everything and make everyone look cooler.
And that's the essence of exactly what I'm talking about. That, ladies, your role is not without power. Your role is not without clout. Your role is not without an immense amount of being able to do damn near everything you want. But it is balanced out by someone who has, usually, the final say in things because of the responsibility on the battlefield. It's not Tony who's making that final decision, it's Cap. Tony will instantly be like, call it, Cap. Even when, and I'm giving, this is a spoiler for Avengers Infinity War if you haven't seen it, there's this scene where Cap's not there. Tony's on a planet, he's got Spider-Man with him, and Star-Lord is there with some of his people. And Tony's trying to make a plan, but he's not good at that battle plan thing. That's Cap's role. Cap is the one where on the battlefield, when it comes to life and death, Cap is making that call. Where Tony says some random, yeah, we don't want to dance with this guy, we ought to give him some space. And then Star-Lord looks at him and goes, yeah, your plan's great, but it sucks. How about we do my plan? Because Star-Lord is the leader of his team. Again, ensuring the safety, livelihood of whatever. So, it's not that Iron Man has no power. It's just that when it comes to the safety of everything, Iron Man knows he's going to be like, call it, Cap. He knows exactly to step the F back and be like, you're responsible for our lives. I'm going to help get us there. I'm going to be managing things. I have an immense amount of power. I make choices with you. But when push comes to shove, when the smoke clears, that's you. That's you. So, balance of power. So that's generally what it means as far as balance. There's gonna be other things. There's gonna be mad videos, so don't worry. We're gonna get into these debates and conversations. Let me know in the comments if you're a boss babe who's like, I don't know, I lead in my relationships, I don't listen to no man. Okay, put it in the comments and let me know how that has worked out for you. Are you married? I'm not trying to throw shade. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe my decades of experience of counseling people, I don't know what I'm talking about. But man, maybe my decades of being in these streets and being in relationships, maybe I could be wrong. You never know. Why is this even important? Why are you even going through the whole balance thing and trying to have a balanced relationship and pillows and swords? Like, what's the whole point of this? A well-oiled machine. A team that doesn't work together doesn't last very long. There's a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, bring a team. Remember that. This life was not made to be lived alone. Now, this balance stuff and navigating the balance, it will be difficult. But that's what I'm here for. It's not the same as just getting somebody in the beginning. That's just acquisition. That's nothing. Because remember, acquisition is elementary. Retention is hard. Now this class is mostly free, but pay the fee with a thumb, up or down. Just let a brother know whether you hate it or love it, okay? There's more videos to come. We're a new channel. So do me a favor, subscribe. Do that shit. Share it. Do that shit. Let people know. Now you know you like this learning, so come on back and click on another video. Until next time.